Hey guys, what's good? My name is Bright, and today we'll be looking into trade management. And to explain this, I'll be dividing it into three sections. So, guys, the first section is stop loss management. And stop loss management, just as the name implies, is just about how you manage your stop loss. So, the first thing I want to target here is the fact that you need to predetermine your stop loss before you get into a trade. You don't want to first enter a trade, then now set your stop loss. I know people that use fixed lot size actually do this because their lot size is fixed regardless of the stop losses. But regardless, your stop loss is actually what determines how much you lose at the end of the day. So take for example, I'm about to get into this trade. Now we can see price grab liquidity around here. Now let's assume I actually have my, let me adjust this zone this way. Let me assume I have my entry here. Now, talking about stop loss placement, the first question to ask myself is where do I want to take, do I want to have my stop loss? So there are two levels to have your stop loss. There's a level that's kind of aggressive and there's one that is the safest place. So for me, the safest place for myself to be is somewhere here. And if I want to be more aggressive, I'll put my stop loss in this, on the top of this blue box here. So for me, I always advise everybody to make sure your stop loss is at the safest level. You don't want to keep having to enter trades over and over again just because you were greedy with your stop loss. So this is the safest place for your stop loss to be. But if you feel the stop loss is too much for this trade or you're not okay with the risk to reward, then you can just put it down here. For me, it's something I do. If I feel the stop loss is too big or the risk to reward is not good enough, then I reduce my stop loss to where I feel it can actually be and I'm ready to take the risk. So for stop loss management, you want to make sure your stop loss is actually predefined. And what helps me with this is actually Trade Assistant. I use Trade Assistant, and you can actually check it on Meta Quotes. I think it's Meta Trader Market. I think it's around $100 currently. So you can get the Trade Assistant. And what this helps you to do is that it actually helps you to place your trade easily on MetaTrader. You know, like you can put your risk to reward, and as you're pulling your stop loss level, the lot size is actually changing too. So you don't have to stress yourself too much. Once you have to set a limit or execute a trade, you just you can predefine the risk from the settings of the whole Trade Assistant. So you can actually check all this on YouTube. There are actually tutorial videos on how to use Trade Assistant. So I use Trade Assistant and it actually makes my trading a lot more better. So now something else I want to say about stop loss management is this. For me personally, I trail my stop loss as soon as price leaves the place it is currently and price is approaching a place whereby I kind of perceive to be as a threat to my position. I actually tend to adjust my stop loss. So I feel like there's a way I can reduce my loss. So currently when price is here, because I believe this place is a reaction level for me, I can move my stop loss from where it is to somewhere just right above this. So instead of just losing all this, I've actually reduced it by a quarter. So that way I'm trailing my losses and I don't get to lose unnecessarily. So I'll actually explain break even, which is the second section. So guys, this is actually the break even section, and when it comes to break even, what I majorly look out for is where is the next possible place in which I can expect a reversal that could be a threat to my position. In short, where is the next possible threat to my position? So wherever I perceive to be a threat to my position, I actually just look to be at break even at that level. So around here, there are two different things I can do. I can either trail my stop loss to move it and make my losses a little bit lesser, or I can just easily be at the break even. So when I'm at break even, I'm not losing anything, and yeah, and that way is actually better. So there are actually two ways I tend to break even. So the first way is actually by moving my stop loss a little bit beyond my entry, and the second way is by closing out some of my risk from the trade. Now I actually prefer moving my stop loss a little bit beyond my entry because I don't want to tamper with my risk to reward, and at times I always just prefer to just leave it that way. If price takes me out, it's fine. I will just look to get a re-entry. So for me, if this level is actually a level I perceive to be a threat, I'll actually just put my trade at break even. So this way I'm not losing anything on this trade. so I can just see how it plays out. So don't forget, the first way is to move your stop loss beyond your break even, and the second way is to actually just take off your risk from your trade. Now there's a way to calculate this. So guys, the way I calculate my break even manually is this. I actually use this formula I came up with, which is your risk in dollars multiplied by your lot size divided by the amount in profit. So this will tell you the exact lot size to be closed. So at times I might adjust, even just I just put my lot size randomly and I check the amount there on MetaTrader. So there's a way you can do it. Once you're in a trade, you actually just put a particular lot size, and just so that the lot size can key in, you can just tap away from the lot size so you see the amount to be closed. So at times in the heat of the moment, I just quickly do this, so rather than just calculating this. But if at all you want to know the exact lot size to be closed, you can actually use this. So your risk in dollars multiplied by your lot size divided by the amount in profit. So let's assume you're risking $100. So and currently the trade is up $500. So your risk could be 100, and the lot size you're using on this trade divided by 500, then you get the lot size to be closed. So this particular lot size to be closed will cover up for your risk. So by the time you check, the lot size will be equals to $100. So that's the way I actually calculate my break even manually. So guys, the last part for this section is take profit. So speaking of take profits, I actually get a lot of questions where people ask me, how do I take partials, when do I take partials, and stuff like that. Now take for example, around this level, I'm currently at break even. Now if this year is my TP1, now for my take profit, I actually target liquidity levels. So around here, I know these are liquidity that price has built down here. Now it's possible for price to just push here and still make a new high. That's possible. But for me currently, this is my take profit, and so far I'm at break even. I don't mind if price takes me out at break even. Now some people, it doesn't sit well with them. Some actually prefer to take their profit somewhere here, and that's fine. It's actually 1 to 4, which is actually a very good risk reward. For me, I prefer to take my first profit somewhere down here. So for my TP1, I actually take around 80 to 90%. Most times I take 80% of my profit. Actually, my take profit actually depends on what presents with the price. So I don't have, there's no specific way, but majorly for intraday trading, I actually take 80% at my TP1, but it depends on what I'm expecting from that particular trade. Now take for example a trade I'm expecting to still go lower, probably I still have a bigger liquidity level I expect the price to get to. I can just take 50% around here, then I hold the remaining 50% to where price is. But if I believe once price actually makes a new low from here, price can reverse against me, then I take majority of my profit from here. So it depends on you and depends on how you trade, but make sure for every trade you get into, make sure you're always taking profit. This is actually one major reason why a lot of traders are not profitable. Make sure you're taking profit from every trade that you take, and if at all you're not taking profit, make sure you're trailing your stops to break even at least. And you don't want to be at break even on time. Just make sure you're at break even when price has gotten to a place where it can reverse against you. So guys, that'll be everything for this particular session, and I hope you got value. In case you have questions, or if you have anything, you can actually just drop it in the comment section. And if there's actually a need for further inquiries, you can put me on Instagram at algo.vibes or on Telegram at the algo vibe. I can actually check out my Telegram public channel. I actually drop a lot of free stuff there. Yeah, so that would be it for this particular session, guys.